How about fantasy football?
All right, let's
talk fantasy football.
Gosh,
with our
so
super fan, Matt Benn is going to join us. Matt, how are you, sir?
Good, how are you?
I have a feeling you've got some Broncos to highlight.
Oh,
my
so Broncos finally, man.
Finally. I mean, the running backs all of a sudden have jumped up the board. And we got 8 guys that were catching passes yesterday and 2 running backs that just killed it. So finally, our offense is coming together, and it looks like it should. It's amazing.
Well, like we talked about, the Broncos had 2 weeks to look back. And Gary Kubiak and the staff looked at all 6 games. All 6 games. Mostly on offense because, like I said, we had the defense. You didn't really need to do much on that. But they looked at every play from every game on offense, what worked, what didn't, and they came out. And Demaryius Thomas, monster game. Peyton didn't throw any touchdowns, but 340 yards, running game. I mean, they fixed some things. They really did.
Yeah. Well, it was nice. I mean, Julius Thomas left at the end of the season, and finally, Virgil Green and Owen Daniels were catching passes instead of just blocking.
The tight end is an option again.
It was nice. Just a great game. Great fantasy points across the board. I know Ronnie Hillman was the top guy with the 18 points. Demaryius Thomas right behind him with 168 yards. C.J. Anderson had 100 yards and a touchdown himself. Peyton Manning even got up there, even beat out McManus.
Double digits.
Look at that. He's in the double digits.
Is that the first time that McManus hasn't led the team?
No, I think McManus is always right there, right in the top 3. So this, I mean, out of nowhere, we actually were scoring touchdowns instead of field goal. So he's still there. McManus is the number 3 kicker in the entire league, so he's still doing great. Defense is number 1. They're by far the best defense out there by 34 points. Number 2 is the Seahawks. Boo.
Well, hey, we're on top. And then across the league, watching that Giants Saints game.
Drew Brees.
I saw fantasy points going just through the roof of the dome. I mean, the roof was blown off by Drew Brees yesterday.
Over 100 points scored in the game. Drew Brees himself had 7 touchdowns, 1 interception, 511 yards, I believe. Eli Manning scored 6 touchdowns and lost, whereas his brother had 0 touchdowns and 1. It was a crazy day across the league. So definitely that Saints and Giants game really was just the quintessential point across the board. With Odell Beckham Jr. was the only wide receiver in the top 5. Everyone else was QBs, like our good friend Tom Brady and our good friend in Oakland, Derek Carr.
All right, looking ahead, we got some picks for next week.
Yeah, I'd say for the sleeper picks, I want to say Peyton Manning. You know, he's not been this amazing quarterback that you want to play. A lot of times people are playing other people instead of him. He's going against the Colts, which are ranked at the bottom of the defense across the league. I've got to think with this type of offense, he's going to be getting into the mid-teens at least, hopefully above that.
Well, look, it's in a dome, the dome that he's used to playing in. It's in Indy. He's got something to prove. He won't say it like we talked about, but he's got something to prove. He can break more records. Colts aren't going to
they're not,
light anybody on fire.
Andrew Luck might have a couple broken ribs, a back, leg. We'll see what the NFL finds out.
Perfect storm for Peyton is to come out and have another 300-plus, maybe 3 touchdown game next week.
Well, you know, the confidence that we saw last night is going to carry over. I mean, it has to. I mean, they finally clicked. We got the offense working. We got the defense working, special teams. I think the Colts are in trouble. Could be, like you say, a big night for Peyton Manning.
Yeah, I have no doubt the defense probably wants to bring that home for him. Other than that, we have Matt Forte on the Bears. He's out with an injury. Take his backup if you can get him. And then also Marcus Colston. You know, he got a ton of catches with the Saints. So I would say if you can grab him, he's only owned in 29% of the leagues. Take him because I can't imagine Drew Brees will want to stop throwing to him after this last week.
Monster game. You're right.
All
right, Matty.
Thank you.
Good work, buddy.
Nice work, sir.
We'll see you next week.